Hello, everyone. Um, Coming into this game, the Jacksonville Jaguars was 1-4, and the Detroit Lions was 1-3. As the Detroit Lions, the setup for this scenario, Detroit Lions, off of a tough loss, came into Jacksonville preparing to attempt to win their second game of the season. The Jacksonville Jaguars, on the other hand, was sliding from a four-game loss, one starting out this season 1-0 as the number one team in the AFC South after defeating the Indianapolis Colts, followed by a close loss in Tennessee of 33-30 to the Tennessee Titans that saw them 1-1, and then after that, pretty much the wheels came off in Jacksonville as the Jaguars proceeded to lose to the Miami Dolphins on Thursday night in a blowout loss that took them to 1-2. A winless Miami Dolphin team. They also continued that affair in Cincinnati, losing to the Cincinnati Bengals. Um, and another winless team. And finally last week against Houston, our own division foe, Houston Texans, another winless team, becoming the first NFL team in the NFL to lose to three straight winless teams in the in back to back ever in NFL history. And now Jacksonville loses to Detroit Lions in Jacksonville 34-16. This now takes the Jaguars to 1-5. We are two games away from being eliminated in the playoffs, and we're barely at the bye. We still have one more game to get to the bye. Um, this uh, um, this season here is a showcase of, course, of a team that is led by a defeated coach in Doug uh, Marrone. He looked at depleted, defeated, and he just looked the mark of the weight of on is on his shoulder, and he did not appear to be anyone that particularly had any type of answer for what we can do to resolve the problems that we have on defense and also on offense. Starting out, the Detroit Lions had 25 first downs. Jacksonville only had 16. Passing first downs, the Lions had 9. Jacksonville had 11. Rushing first downs, the Lions had 12, and Jaguars had 3. First downs after penalties, the Lions had 4. The Jaguars had 2. Um, Third down efficiency, the Lions were 3 for 12. The Jaguars was 7 for 13. Fourth down efficiencies, the Lions were 2 for 2. The Jags was 0 for 2. Total plays, the Lions had 70 plays. Jaguars had 61. Total yards, the Lions had 403 yards, and the Jaguars only had 275. There was 11 drives apiece between both of them, and did have equally 11 drives. The Lions gained 5.8 yards per play. The Jags 4.5 yards per play. In passing, the Lions had 223 yards of passing. Jaguars had 231 yards of passing. Completion ratio was 19 of 31 for the Lions, 25 of 44 for the Jaguars. And yards per passing, 7.2 for the Lions and 5.1 for the Jaguars. There was an interception thrown by the Lions as well as the Jaguars. Sacks. There was no sacks for the Lions, but there was one sack for the Jags for a 12-yard loss. Rushing, the Lions had 180 yards of rushing. The Jaguars only amounts 44 yards of rushing. Rushing attempts, the Lions attempt 39 attempts of rushing. The Jaguars only attempt 16, 16, 16. The Lions was getting 4.6 yards on the ground. The Jaguars 2.8 yards per rush. Red zone efficiency, the Lions was 4 of 5. The Jaguars was 2 of 5. Penalties, the Lions had they had 7 penalties for 60 yards. The Jaguars had 5 penalties for 56 yards. Lions gave up 1. They had 1 turnover. The Jaguars had 2. The fumbles, the Lions had no fumbles. The Jaguars had one. Interceptions thrown, well, Lions threw one, and of course, the Jaguars threw one as well. There was no defensive touchdowns on either teams, and at times of possession, the Lions just stingily held onto the ball for 35 minutes and 57 seconds, almost 36 minutes of the game, and the Jaguars only had the ball for 24 minutes. So, which resulted in a a score of 34-16. Um, and for the Jaguars, they're you know pretty much are in a dark place right now as far as confidence, positive takeaways. I mean, you have some talented wide receivers. Uh, you have a marginal quarterback that is indecisive. Uh, Gardner Minshew is not the quarterback not the franchise quarterback for Jacksonville of the future. You have a team that's fighting. Jacksonville Jaguars is a team they're coming out there to play. They're fighting, but on defense, they have so many problems. It's just hard to really just kind of pin them down. You can these Russian. Everybody know that you can run on the Jaguars. But see, the problem is that you can run and you can throw them. The defensive scheme is easily to figure out. Um, there's no buy-in from, of course, these young players because the scheme is just too complicated for players that are not that talented to be able to carry out the complicated defense that has been played out for them. I mean, the week that we're in now, the team should have already been settled in. Uh, we can talk about injuries here and there, but every team has its injuries, and um, the way that we're playing now, it's going to be very challenging for them to go down to Los Angeles and as they take on the Chargers to be competitive. And so uh, it's just going to be a matter of them pretty much looking at what the Chargers presents. But I don't. I know that this current coaching staff does not have an answer for any of the 32 teams that are suiting up to play against the Jacksonville Jaguars. 31 teams are suiting up to play against the Jacksonville Jaguars. So we're sitting here looking at the potential of going 1-15. And I don't know what it takes for Shad Khan to go ahead and release the coaching staff and the general management. But I know as fans, we're all frustrated and fed up. Now, he today in his news conference looked at defeated. He looked at defeated. There didn't seem any more or less any. He didn't have an answer for any of the schemes or any of the challenges that the team is facing. Uh, it is more or less it's a long season. This is just uh, this is just week what 6 or 7, and we're talking about 17 weeks. We have a long way to go in this season, and the Jaguars do not look like they have even the capability with the current leadership in charge to be competitive. This is the time to pull the plug. Um, it should have been done and I tell you, I'm saying, to the leadership of the Jaguars, the Sean Cod and the Cod organization, that this should have been done this past. I know about the Tom Coughlin thing and all that, but I'm telling you, Doug and Codwell should have been gone. They should have been gone. And now we're reaping the pretty much uh, the effects of the continual marginal coaching abilities of both Doug uh, the limitations of his staff, the limitations of the players that we have currently. It's just a marginal organization. I mean, Jacksonville Jaguars is not a competitive team. It's not. And if you look at the game, starts out, uh, what is it, 7 and then 7-3, and then 14 to 3, 17 to 3, 24 to 3, um, 30, was it 24 to 3, and then let me see, I believe 24-10, and then 31, 31 to 3, then 34 to, no, 31 to 10, and then 34 to 10, and then 34 to 16. So not very competitive. The team does not have, in fact, when everyone see us on coming up, like the Chargers right now, who, by the way, are coming off of a bye, who have had an opportunity to look at all of our game tape on the bye, as well as sit back and watch the game today against Jacksonville playing against the Detroit Lions. Nobody's really, they're not really you know serious about this game here, as Jacksonville always struggled going out to play against the Chargers in LA, or the Rams for that matter. I don't believe they played the Rams that many times, but I know they played the Chargers many times over in LA. So with that being said, the writing is on the wall for the coaching staff to be removed. We're looking at the we're looking at a 1-15 team. We're looking at a 1-15 team, and at this point, you're just pretty much watching it because it's our team, but you're not watching it because you have any faith that they're going to win. I mean, it's almost like, how can they win? How can they win? They don't have the talent. They don't have the coaching staff. You know, they don't have the right leadership in place to guide them to for 4 quarters to a win. It's the first game of the season was a fluke. It was a prevention of them going 0-16, which is what I was kind of thinking we were going to do. They fooled me and they fooled everybody else. So now they're 1-5, and next week we'll be facing a LA Chargers team that's ready to go. They've rested and they're ready to play the Jacksonville Jaguars in LA. All right, go Jags.